unga in town. Miraha premium.
Yeah.
We are talking about premium products, so definitely you'll see premium brands associated with it.
What makes it premium?
This thing, the quality. Even when you cook with Kavagara, man, you can see the quality of the ugali. You can feel the quality of the unga. Unajua kuna unga zingine ukiziguza zenyewe una feel hata texture. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. The texture kama rega. But now this one kidogo unapata iko A1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vile unaongea, vile umepiga luku Obinna ni kama umepewa pesa mzuri sana. But the question is,
nimekuja hapa tu kama mtumishi.
Mtumishi Ben ameingia.
Remember? You are saying something.
And I was asking, given a chance to be paid by exposure, bila pesa utachukua sababu exposure pia muhimu?
Yes, but I've taken it a couple of times. That's where you start. You start with exposure, then unaingia kwa kula ka lunch, na kupatia ka food. Then unaingia kwa nakupea fare. Then unaingia kwa hatuna budget lakini tunaweza kupatia ka stipend. Ka DM kanini. It's normally, and even right now there are some opportunities that when you get, you take the exposure because it's well deserved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now as we see on the internet, Gen Zs are looking like they have a voice right now.
They are not
TikTok,
looking like
they have. Do you think that traditional influencers still have as much influence as TikTokers ama tuwape hiyo award?
No. There's different levels to this.
Okay.
So there's an audience or there's a community that is for social media. So everybody who's on social media has an influence on that front. Then also we have an audience that is on the terrestrial media. Kuna msee yasiposikia radio, sijazo kuzika radio ajasema. Then now we have the people bwana siku soma kwa newspaper bwana. Baba wachango. Then now pia tuko na wale watu wa TV. So everybody has influence in their own space. So usiafikia ati huyu amekuja ku overshadow huyu. Kila msee ako nayo, and Gen Zs actually they have a major
the past few weeks you've walked out from 2 interviews. Is it journalism skills that is a problem, or are they asking questions that you don't want to answer?
Journalism skills and ethics. Yes. You see, as a journalist, when someone says on the interview they don't want something, you find a way to deter from it. I've hosted people as well on my show. Hata juzi tu wakanambia your story kidogo, okay fine, then I move into something else. And by the way, there's nobody who sits on my show that I normally ask them a question that they don't know. I always tell them, everybody, they can talk about it. I always tell them, is there any question not comfortable me asking you? Ni nini utaki nisema uliza anything. Kama mko sure na wakileta maswala uliza anything sawa. So when I ask na kuangalia sema uliza anything, wengine wananiambia usiniulize hii story. Watch my interviews. Kuna wale walikamingi wakakana kuna story sikuguzia, wanaambia usiulize hii story. I stayed away from it. So as a journalist, it's your right, yes, but sometimes there's some things you don't do. Like the first one, I told the guy more than 3 times, let's not talk about this. Insisted, let's not talk. Come on, my G. I walk out. The second one I was disrespected, but people saw it differently, but it is fine. But provided it's my boundary was crossed, I was like, mimi nashukia hapa, wacha nitoke. Because even if I reacted, could have been another issue again. Yeah, so you walk away, and then even if I sat through it, could be another issue again. Yeah, there's always a situation. Yeah.
Speaking about walking away, we saw yesterday night, there's a couple that walked away from your interview, but it did start so well. You invited them for an interview, then the third party came that they didn't sit well with them. Okay,
so what happened yesterday was I invited Culture. Actually, I had not invited Sabrina. I invited Culture. There's a time I wanted to host Sabrina, Bentah, and Captain Samir. And they told me they would come. Then sijui nani akakuwa mgonjwa. I think it was Hannah or Sabrina. Wakaniambia nani mgonjwa, we can't come. Then baadaye when they broke up, I reached out to one of them, ikakuwa tena hawezi kuja. So I reached out to Culture. Because remember there's a time Akina Prince Chala came, they came with them. So like, hey, Culture ni aje niko Mombasa, but I'll come. So when Culture was coming, then Sabrina said, I'm coming with Culture. I was like, okay, cool. The more the merrier. They came. We're having a very good conversation until we started speaking about the allegations for the UTI, STI, the whole shebang. So we're having this conversation, and then Bentah calls me like 3 times. We went on an ad break. So when you came back, I was like, let me just call her on air. So it's ulikuwa so I call her. Hey, Nini. In fact, I live 2 minutes away. I'm like, oh, cool. Come through. She came through. She was angry, expressed herself. she was not invited to the show. She came through to the show because she was watching what was happening. What I stand for as a journalist, I always believe there are three sides of every story. There's your angle, then there's a truth. Okay? But if you speak about her, it's only right that she responds to what you're saying. And if she responds, she better come with receipts, and you better come with receipts. So that's what happened yesterday. And Hannah came with receipts that people are saying, oh, it's a bit late. And Sabrina did not have the receipts, but she was telling, hey, Ebu, bring the receipts for Kissy. And Hannah did not have the receipts for Kissy or Assis. So it became a whole situation. And then, there are two ladies who shared a man. They have a history. They have their situation. The kidogo got out of hand. I tried to contain them. And of course, Nani felt disrespected Culture. And at some point, Culture was like, hey, Obinna, we gotta leave. I was like, it's cool, I understand. And then when they left, I cooled down Hannah. We did the whole conversation. Samir spoke. But now also Samir was on the side for Hannah because they're currently a thing. So of course, utatetea mtu wako. Culture was teteing Sabrina because they're a thing. So it was a whole situation that wasn't that friendly, but it was supposed to happen. Because most of the time unapata huyu akenda live TikTok anasema huyu amefanya hivi. Huyu akenda live TikTok anasema huyu amefanya hivi. So it was about to happen. It was bound to happen, and it did. And the minute we finished the show, I called Sabrina and Culture. They didn't pick, but I managed to talk to Culture. Texted him, I apologized. I was like, hey, my G, I'm so sorry. This was not the intention. That was not even planned. And my apologies. Was like, yeah. He also apologized for walking out. And I was like, I totally understand it because the situation was getting a bit volatile. I was like, hey, this one kidogo is a bit tricky. Because first me, I thought it's a joke. When Nani came through, I was like, but you guys have been buddies. Yeah, but I reached out and I also texted Sabrina the same. I was like, hey, I apologize, my bad. And I also texted Hannah Bentah the same. And Hannah told me, now I need an interview of my own. She texted me today. I need an interview of my own. But I don't see the need of it because we already covered the whole shebang. We already spoke about the whole thing, the UTI, nini yidi yada, the whole thing. It doesn't make sense to go back and repeat it again without now Sabrina, because now if she comes and sits down with me for an hour or two, she'll be talking about the whole situation. So I'd rather, if we are sitting down again, we see the three of us, him, the other guy and the other guy, and then we come up with receipts. Because also normally for everybody who speaks online, just know that allegations are very serious. If you're making allegations that are not warranted and you don't have evidence, hey, that is suable. Yeah, so sometimes people just decide not to, but be very careful with the allegations you make. Before you make them have evidence, I'ma use the word allegedly. Yes, but if you come and say, Obinna mimi nimejua nini. So naambia kuja sasa explain ulijua aje. Then sasa huwezi ku explain. Yeah, but whatever happened last night was a good thing because finally they put out what was ailing both of them, and we all knew that what was happening, it was not an STI, it was a UTI. UTIs are normal things for ladies. For every person out there, if you don't know, urinary tract infections are very normal things. Ladies pick them everywhere. They can go to a general washroom, nini public one, amepika UTI, ka uchafu kidogo, nini, whatever. It's not a serious thing at you dames, just she was being promiscuous, the way people are carrying it, it happens. And it can also be transmitted amongst each other if other people are engaging in a few things here and there. So that was it. It was no cause for alarm. The watu wanakasema huyu sijui ako na nini, huyu ako na nini. So usa, breathe, stop stigmatizing it, and then also let's stop bashing them. Let's stop beating Sabrina. Let's stop beating Hannah. The person who needs to take charge is Samir, Captain Samir. You need to take charge, man. Put your house in order. There were your women, nimesikia kuna wengine tena. Just call Hannah, mwambie ni aje babe, tulia. Call Sabrina, mwambie ni aje ex wangu, I'm sorry, tulia, tulenge hii story. It's easy because they are young ladies, and the way it's happening like that, it gets into trauma. It comes back to the mental health thing. You might think it's easy, but when people start making allegations about you, about things that are not there, it affects you mentally. And not everybody is as strong as the next person you see in the media. Kuna mtu ananyamaza hivi lakini akienda kando, they break down. So easy, guys, chill out. There's so much that happens behind closed doors. That one happened, Isha Peter, let's be easy on them. Yeah.
And of course, the word was mentioned, maybe just an advice to the young couple, some of the people engaging in sex, in unprotected sex.
Yeah. Unprotected sex has consequences. The most safest one ni kupata mtoto. Okay? The most safest one. Akikwambia kuna mtoto, hapo kidogo umeponea. Lakini now you are stuck with a situation for life. Huyo mtoto ako na wewe forever. So before you make that reckless decision, make sure you are ready. The unsafe ones are limitless. You can get a lot of sexually transmitted infections, including HIV and AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, and the rest. Herpes, the whole shebang. So be careful with what you're doing. Mwache kupimana ukimwi na macho. And then normally if you look at people who have come out and spoken, I've hosted a few of them on my channel, and they'll come and say, I'm HIV positive, I'm living positively with HIV and AIDS. When you look at them, they look like you and I. So mwache kupimana ukimwi na macho. Let's stop being reckless if you want to live for the future. Be careful. Usifreak bila socks. That was you know, it's in your, you're not a Gen Z. Yeah. For Gen Zs don't know, but for the millennials, usifreak bila socks. For my Gen Zs, usianguke nayo bila nyonginyo. Ukiamua kugoda make sure that umejiprotect, because huyo dem mwenye unafikira dem yako, imagine akona chali yake, na unajua chali yake akona dem yake, na huyo dem yake akona sponyo, na huyo sponyo akona mtu wake. The chain goes and on and on and on. Like I've said a couple of times personally, niligongewa. I didn't expect it because the person was very, you know, pia wewe, wow. You see, for example, if you date an Obinna, someone will be like, Obinna nana kugongeana da. But there's some people that if you look at them, you're like, huyu kidogo akai. Then upate sasa huyo ndio sasa ukozili I thought huyu ndo alikuwa mbaya, kumbe ni huyu. So mdanie si ndiye. So be very careful. Huyo baby girl unafikiri ati amekupenda hivyo. Yes, amekupenda, but some of them have needs. Some of them have been in situations that are not friendly, and some of them have also been abused. Si kupenda kwao. Things happen, shit happens, life happens. Just be very careful. Mupimane, asile ya kufanya sijui swaba teketeke saa hiyo. No. Kuna ile yenye unapimanga ile insti, unaangalia damu, una relax 3 months later, una confirm nini. But in the meantime, Rabajonics all the time. Vagambut.
Maybe my last question, awacha tuvuke boda kidogo twende Tanzania. How we saw that you expressed your crush for Kajala Masanja.
Yeah.
Na kidogo people talked. Watu walisema pale Kajala was Harmonize ex. Waliongea kuhusu bro code. And pia it was like they had a thing na pia they don't have a thing.
Yeah, so kila mtu first of all akona ex. Wewe kona ex, utapata mimi niko na ex, napata mwingine, unaweza kuwa na ex, utapata mwingine hivyo. So there's nobody mwenye ana ex. Number 2, your time nikimake move towards Kajala, baada wako wame rekindle their situation with Harmonize. But unajua Kajala and spec yangu, so you guys know my spec, man. I've said it a couple of times, man. I like something that has weight and occupy space. I like them heavy a little bit, you know, 18-wheeler. So baada wako wame rekindle. So when they rekindle their situation, I was like, okay, now I'm a step aside because Harmonize is my boy, na kama ako pale, kwa nini niende pale na Bina ameenda kugongeana? Time nilikuwa na make move akwa pamoja. Then the following day naona ameenda sijui birthday ya mtoto, sijui nini, sijui amedance pamoja, Harmonize amemkiss kwa shingo. Niko zile god damn guys, nimerudi soko, hii imeenda. Na pia aka smile, niko like she still loves the guy. So nikasema it's fine. So acha tu ningoje, bado tu watawachana.
Because Harmonize said that they don't have a thing.
Yeah, that's what he said, but her eyes were different. Hata Harmonize's eyes were different. Mapenzi unajua unaona kwa macho. Mimi niliangalia venye Kajala alikuwa patingina, alikuwa dance wanafanya hivi. Nikaangalia nikasema huyu Kajala bado yampenda Harmonize. And then pia Harmonize pia aliona vibe zake, akamwekea pesa. Nikasema huyu bado anampenda huyu. They might not be together physically, but emotionally those ninjas are connected from here till Timbuktu.
Kwa hivyo story ya kurudi, does it work? Have you ever gone back to your ex like more than 2 times?
Yeah.
Does it work?
No. I will not recommend it. Mimi nilirudi kikaniramba tena akasema tena because so what happens is this. Why do people go back to their exes? Because they're afraid of the future. Then you start meaning the past. Unakaa chini unaanza kufikiria, you think of all the plans, all the beautiful times you had together. You're like akiwo yange kwa hapa saizi kwa ni massage mguu nini, then unapata umemtext. Bro, it is a scam. Usijaribu. Ukimiss tu hivyo usikiwa na miss, geuza hii akili haraka because ukirudi pale injection ile they never change. You can't teach a lot of new tricks. Same old. Martin, didn't you add something?
Obi, I've been going through online na watu wanabash sana how you do your interviews, how you host, you know, and lazima kukuwe na negativity huku na positivity. Maybe what would you like to say about that?
People are bashing how I host. I wonder why I'm number 1. Yeah. How I host is what made me number 1 in that platform. Yeah. And also people who will have most people have opinions and people are not experienced in that field. Wewe una watch, ujai interview mtu yote, ujai kana msee, ujai simama kwa jua hivi kama warembo. Ameshika microphone vibaya, amefanya. Si ushike yako.
Ati mnauliza maswali mbaya, kuja uulize.
Uliza yako. It's a very simple thing. By the way, the digital space is very free. Hakuna training hata una need. Obinna anafanya shaki vibaya, fanya yako ufanye vizuri. Learn from my mistakes. Kuna zile za msi amefanya hivi, wacha mimi nitafanya hivi. Mimi sitacheka sana, mimi nitakuwa nalia sana. Mimi nitakuwa nafanya hivi, wewe fanya tu yako. Mimi wacha mimi nifanye yangu venye nafanya, kwa sababu venye nimefanya kwa hizo miaka zote ndio imenifikisha hapo, na maguest wangu wote wanakuja kwenye show. Wakitoka wanafiliwa wananiambia, I've never been in such an interview. Tumevibe tu, we've had a good conversation. Ama kama unaona kama ni noma, watch hizo zingine zenye wanauliza swali za maana, hizo zenye wacheki, zenye wanalia, iko tu sawa. I actually don't feel offended by that. It's your opinion and everybody is entitled to the opinion. But the fact that is currently on the digital platform, live interviews, I'm number one. Yes, there'll be someone else who'll come and take that slot. There's something they'll do better than me. Someone else will take from them, because you can't sit there forever. Power is transient. When I'm there, someone else is coming, and before I was there, someone else was there, and like that, we just keep shifting and keep improving. So weanza na yako kuja pita piga kwa mnoma hivyo hivyo tukisonga.
Okay, this Saturday
that I'm doing with Gold Child Media Institute. Ingia pale kwa social zangu cheki, then jioni tunaingia Kamba Festival. Wakati mba tunapiga Kamba Festival. Tukitoka Kamba Festival on Sunday afternoon tuko pale red room, first floor, tunafanya Lake Vibes. Prince Inda is performing live. I am emceeing. We have DJ Vic. It's an exclusive affair. We have 4 tickets for 100 G's. Hizo zimeshaenda 4 tables. So zimebaki ni zingine za Jatelo na Badi 3K na 5K respect. Get those ones, they meet. So hizo ndo activities time. You live every day, you only die once, so let's live.